Let's attempt to clean the carburetor on my Arctic Cat LT Gray, because I did actually start it up this morning and it started on third pull, but whenever you go to give it throttle, it just dies out and it won't run on anything but choke, which is a problem because you're just going to be fouling plugs left and right, and you're obviously not going to get like the performance out of it that you would with a clean carburetor. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and get this thing put away in my garage so I can work on it in there. That way I'm not getting any snow into the motor. Alright, so I got this thing inside now, so let's start to dig into that carburetor. Or the carburetors, because there's two of them. I think I'm just going to do one at a time here because this is my first snowmobile, so I don't really know how to work on them. But I know these things are oil injected, so I have to figure out where those oil lines come in at. That way I don't lock this thing up. Well, I guess let's start by pulling this chain, or this belt guard off, whatever you want to call it. And that'll give us a better view of our carburetor. But I guess let's start by pulling some of these lines off. Probably just leave these breather lines though, but we'll take off this one, and then there might be another one for the oil. I'm not sure. Before we do that, we should probably turn our fuel shutoff off. Probably going to want to have a cup under those fuel lines when you pull them off. And I guess we can take this hose clamp off too. This is just going to be kind of scatterbrained. I don't really know what I'm doing. So I guess we'll just back this out until we can wiggle the carb off. I'm just going to go ahead and unplug my spark plugs because they're kind of in the way of my carb right there. That way you can get the slide out. I'll put them back on after. Or just reroute them. That way you don't forget which one's for which. So I think I figured out my oil pump thing. Is that the throttle cable splits into 2 or 3 cables right here. And one goes to the other carburetor, one goes to this carburetor, and then one goes to the oil pump, I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what's going on here. So then I cracked that slide loose just using a pair of these wrapped up in a paper towel. That way I don't scratch our slide. I know some of you guys are going to hate me for using channel locks, but this is a beater snowmobile. And now we can just unscrew this. And I'm either going to put this on a paper towel or a plastic bag. That way this doesn't get dirty our slide. Or in this case, I just put a rubber glove over it. It'll work. You just don't want those parts getting more dirty. Now we should just be able to wiggle our carb out. Alright, so I got our carb wiggled off. I don't really know what this electric, whatever you want to call it is. Wire up there is sliced though, so that was not me. I don't know. It was running like that, so I'm just going to assume it's fine. I don't know if that's like a throttle safety thing or something like that. I have no clue. Also, this is a Mikuni carburetor made in Japan. And I don't know if this is like somebody put this on, but it has Allen key holes for our carburetor screws, which is going to suck to try to get off without stripping it out. But what the hell, Mikuni? Like, I know you make better stuff than that. Let's see if they're on the other carb too. Well, I guess let's start by getting this choke off. I got our choke assembly off, and I did hear a guy say on YouTube that you're gonna want to put your choke on. That way the slide doesn't fall apart, because I guess it's like a throttle slide almost, maybe. I'm gonna try to disconnect this wire thing running to the carburetor. I have no clue what this is. I think you might just be able to disconnect it here. I don't know. I'll try. Our bowl isn't the cleanest. I actually don't know if I have any carb clean here, so I might have to run to O'Reilly's real quick or whatever. But I gotta wait a couple minutes to do that because my brother's gotta finish clearing off our driveway because I gotta take the minivan there, and that's not very good in snow. But until then, let's continue tearing this apart till I get the carb clean. Let's go ahead and just unscrew this jet here. I've also never seen a carburetor that has this type of float where it's like, I guess these floats come up and they have this groove thing right here, or whatever, like a stick thing almost. And it grabs this and drops the needle down. I've never seen that before. So I didn't film some of that, but I went ahead and got our needle fingers or whatever, or float fingers, whatever you want to call it, off. Little tip is whenever you're taking a carburetor apart and this rod for those float fingers is stuck, just get yourself one of these. You push it down. It's like a punch. You push it down and it pops. It pops it right out. But now I'm just going to go ahead and remove our needle seat. I already cracked it loose, so now we can just unscrew it. So I did actually take apart both my carburetors. I took both of them out because I'm going to go get a carb cleaner right now. So when I'm back, I'm going to start putting them back together, clean them and then rebuild them, and then put them back in, and hopefully I'll be able to drive it. I got the carb cleaner. That took me 2 hours because there's 7 inches of snow on the roads, and they can hardly keep up with it in the town I live in. Not to mention I took the minivan. That thing's actually a beast. It went through 6 inches of snow. But anyways, I'm going to get clean out these carb parts. I'm probably not going to record that just so it goes quicker because this is already going to be a long video. I'll get back to you guys once I get them all slapped back together. So I got my one carburetor rebuilt, but this fucking thing last fucking, like, I don't even know what you call this part I was putting in. I barely had it tight, and it must have had a crack in it or something. Just snap the fucking thing off. I'm fucking pissed at this. And now the threads are stuck in there, so I don't know if this whole carburetor is just fucking junk. This definitely is. So I'm pissed, but I don't know what I'm going to do. I really wanted to have this thing running by tomorrow. I guess I'll just go ahead and install this carburetor for now. So it is actually a couple days later. I actually did start working on the quad the other day. That will be in another video that you guys will see. But that's actually a four-wheeler part. But the carburetor on the snowmobile, I did get the one installed. I'll show you guys that in a minute. I got our one carb installed, and I just put our other carb back together for a time being. But since that part's broken, I did order a new part. It's only like 15 bucks. It should be here between the 3rd and the 6th. Today is December 2nd. But since that's not coming till later in the week, we'll do a separate video on that. That shouldn't be super long. It's just putting in that guide screw, or whatever you want to call it. We also did get more snow. We got like another 3 inches of snow, so I'm not worried about the snow going away. Not to mention, I've got my garage door closed because it's like 10 degrees outside. I got to remove the old piece that's in that carburetor that's broken. But I'm going to end this video here because it's already getting really long. But stay tuned, because in a couple more days, we should be able to drive this thing, which I'm super excited for.